Hello everybody and welcome to Organian's Puzzle Box. In today's video we are going to explore the next step in the Surface Forge ecosystem, which is the snow layer. This layer can be enabled on any surface which is using the Surface Forge and can also be baked on any mesh after you are done with the effect, after you've done painting it or setting it up on its slope settings. I'm using this video as a way to showcase how you can enable and how to use the snow layer and what options are available to you. In previous videos, we explored things like the curvature layer, the slope layer, and also the edge masking and edge tiling. But now we're adding a new effect, which is this snow effect. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment in the sections below. If you want to try the Surface Forge yourself, take a look on Patreon or on the Fab store or on my own website. So let's begin. So I've got here a very basic example of a building that's using sort of like boards that are geometrically complex, so to speak, not in the sense of that they have a lot of polygons, but in the sense of that they've all got geometry like that. They're not just one flat plane. And this is going to be important because this will decide how the snow kind of sits on this, right? And we have multiple material instances right here that we can enable the snow for. So for example, if I start taking this box over here, we'll now see that we have a snow enable layer onto this material, and then we can go to the next one. So same thing, I'm just going to scroll up to the snow and enable it. And then once we do that, we can go to the next material instance and we have material snow. This will enable it for the ground. And then we can go over here and do the same for these barrels like that as well. Okay, so now we have multiple assets here with snow. Obviously I could go over here and do these as well if I wanted to, but I don't have that one set up there for snow. I'm just going to use these for now. Now it's important that we understand some of the options in here. So for example, right, this is the snow that I've got enabled over here. We do have the snow slope contrast and fall off power. So if we play around with this setting, right, you can see that you can kind of like decide where that sort of snow is showing up and what sort of gradients. If I go to the next material here, I've got the same sort of options, but again, I can kind of decide, again, this is for the floor, right? So I can again kind of decide how that snow builds up. How does it look? Obviously this is not, it doesn't really have a slope here in the sense of this is a flat plane with just displacement on it, but there is various different options that you can sort of like play with in order to decide where the snow shows up and also if it has displacement or not. If we go to this first material, then we have snow for the boards here. If we go with the slope contrast in the negative values, you'll notice that the slope effectively gets inverted. Right now, the slope of the snow or the snow itself is generated from top to bottom. But if we, for example, shift this to a negative value, then it can shift to be projected from the bottom to the top, which obviously it's not exactly correct, but it's nothing stopping you from doing that. So for example, we could just keep here a little bit of a gradient on it, and then we can play around with the contrast in order to be able to see it a little bit more, or the fall off power to reduce that just to get a bit more snow in there. Right now it's all coming from, obviously from the top to bottom, but then you can always sort of decide, maybe you want more snow to come from this side here, so we can, from the front, or maybe you want more snow to come from the left side. So now we have more snow coming from the left and not as much from the right. Okay. Now, obviously, these blends here, you are going to have to sort of like build them up and really work on based on what you need. Now there is another option in here that we can do. So based on the snow blends, we do have in the material blending section, we do have snow being affected by a vertex color or a mesh paint. So if I go into mesh paint mode, and I've covered this in a previous tutorial, but obviously if you go to mesh paint, we can use the alpha channel to sort of like add more snow here. So this is not dependent on the slope. So for example, right, just bear this in mind. If I, for example, go here and I say, you know what, I actually don't want any well, I'm trying to kind of like go to a point where I have no snow showing up. You know, maybe I'm gonna do something like that. So the snow is barely showing up, right? Now we have mesh paint on, and I can go in here and I can start painting this, right? I can start painting some snow on these surfaces here, like that, as you can see. And then I can keep adding or removing, maybe something like that, right? And this snow looks a bit more different because this snow is height blended. So if you go back into material blending, you'll notice you have some contrast in here to play with. You also have a transition phase between the height of the underlying layer, you know, the layer underneath. So we can make it look a bit more powdery like that. You do have, like right now we're doing our snow channel mask is on the alpha, but it can be on the RGB channels as well if you want, depending on which layer you're painting with. Okay. Now, if you want, you can obviously paint on multiple, like on this entire mesh. If every other material has painting enabled, like here, you can paint on that as well. So let's just see which material is the one that is affecting that. This is not this one, I believe might be this one, or no, this is for the barrels. So yeah, this is the one. Okay, so we can go in here and we can say, right, in the material blending, we do want our snow to be added to mesh paint like that. And then we're going to say, right, we want the snow channel mask to be the alpha channel like that. Okay, and now we should be able to get into a position where I'm able to paint it. I'm just looking at snow paint color channels. I'm going to put that to the alpha as well. And what I'm trying to do here is effectively make sure that, you know, we are enabling the snow material to be paintable. But we're also trying to get it to a position where we can paint across two different surfaces, because this is using one material, this is using another material, so that we can basically paint across multiple meshes, multiple faces. So I've just put a contrast and fall off power to the point where we just have some at the top, and then I'm going to go in here and make sure that I enable my height blending snow. And then I'm able to go in here. This obviously, the resolution of this might be wrong, and as you can see here, right? Because this is going to be based on the resolution of the UVs if you're doing any mesh painting. So bear that in mind whenever you're mesh painting, that if your UVs aren't high definition, then you won't be able to mesh paint very well. You can always switch over to modeling and go over into paint vertex colors. And we can then paint obviously in the alpha channel. And, you know, if you do that, you're basically going to be able to add some snow, as you can see here, right? So you can add some semblance of snow onto these areas based on the alpha, on the vertex color. Now, when you sort of like do this, right, like this, you may still have issues where there's no vertices for you to paint on, right? And right now it's not really registering on these meshes, which is a bit odd, right? And this is generally it can be a problem. You may have to tweak these settings in order to affect hard edges or parts of the mesh that are hidden. But to be able to see a clean result between vertex painting and mesh painting, you would, realistically need to go to mesh paint and remove the paint, right? We have this paint, we want to remove it. And then if we go back into modeling, right, we can see this is what we've painted with the vertex color. And going into attributes and paint vertex color, again, you can now do this. So then you might want to look at, after we've painted the other surfaces entirely, we then still want to do this as well here, for these areas. And you just got to make sure that you do have snow add vertex color to blend mask. And then you want to switch over your snow vertex color channels to the alpha channel. And once you do that, you'll then be able to paint. Now, again, if these are fully white, then that's what you're going to get, like fully painted with snow. So for example, what I mean by this is if we erase everything, right, that's how it looks like. But then we can now start painting like this, right? Multiple areas. Now, bear in mind that these don't have complex geometry, which means that vertex painting is going to just rely on the corner vertices. So you're not going to get a very high resolution. This is where you want to kind of do a bit of like a setup between mesh painting and vertex painting, or just use mesh painting overall, right? And you can kind of like do this, right? Just paint around depending on sort of like what you need and where you need it. Or this is one of those sort of examples where you have a lot of geometry to work with. So this might kind of work a little bit against you or for you, depending on how much time you're willing to kind of spend on it. Once you're done with it, you can press accept, and then the settings will be sort of like locked in. Like I've said to you, you can see here, whatever we painted, it just looks a bit odd. But that's also because we have our edge mask tiling here. You know, we could enable that and change it a little bit. We can also look at the slope contrast for the snow in case you're trying to like kind of add a bit of, like some contrast here onto the sides, onto the edges. Slope falloff power, you might want to go into the negative values. It really depends. But overall, as I said, painting on surfaces like this may not be the most useful. So if you don't want to do any of that, you can always just remove the, as I said, the vertex color, where it says here snow, add to vertex color or mesh paint. And if you do that, it will just be based on slopes, based on other settings. So I can, for example, remove it from mesh blending as well. And then I can go to this other material and do the same thing where I'm removing snow from the blend mask and from the vertex mask. And then it's only really controlled by these parameters here, by the slope, contrast, and falloff power, like that. And that's just kind of how it works. Again, this is an example that I've used here with multiple points of geometry just to kind of prove a point. Now you can see the snow also onto things like these barrels, and you can see them here on the ground. I'm just going to click play in the level so we can move around a little bit. And this is how that sort of like looks like. Again, this is something that I'm looking at upgrading right now. I am actually working on upgrading the snow layer to be a material function that's got more feature rich and can have its own values of displacement. So stay tuned for that, because there's quite a few improvements that are going to be done to this, instead of just being a layer on top of the underneath layers. But that's kind of what I've got for the snow update, or the how to use a snow layer currently. If you like what you see, and if you want to give a Surface Forge a try, please feel free to have a look on Patreon or on the Fab Marketplace. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.